Hi everyone, hope everyone's doing well, and thanks for watching today. Today I am going to be doing this smoky brown eye look for you all. It's a great look for day to day. You can definitely wear it out at night if you're going out. Even maybe make it a little darker, add some false eyelashes if you're going out at night. But I'm mainly using my Lorac Pro Palette for most of this, a couple matte colors. So if you have this palette, get this out and I will show you how to create this look. Okay, so I'm going to warm up my crease a little bit before I put on the darker colors onto the eyelid. And the first color I'm going to use is a MAC eyeshadow in soft brown, just a very natural color to apply. And I'm just going to use a big, large, fluffy brush for that. Get a little bit on there, tap it off, and go ahead and apply that in there. So now that I've used that, I'm going to use actually another MAC eyeshadow for the crease, just to warm that up a little bit more. And it is in the color Texture, and that is like a warm kind of coppery brown color. And I'm going to use that same, I'm not going to use the same brush. I'm going to use a more dome-shaped fluffy brush. This is just a Sephora rounded crease brush. Get a little bit on that, tap off any extra, and apply that straight to the crease. And as you can see, that's a little bit more of an orange color. And with my blue eyes, I really like this color because I think it gets a little bit more emphasis to the blue color of my eyes. I'm going to go ahead and get started with the eyeshadow base, and what I'm going to use for the base is a matte MAC paint pot in the color Constructivist, and it's this dark cooler brown color, and I'm going to apply that with my finger and then blend it a little bit with a brush. And it doesn't have to be perfect. And then I get a thicker domed brush. It's like a dual fiber brush, and it's good for like cream eyeshadows, and I just get a little bit more of that Constructivist onto that brush just so I can kind of blend this into the eyelid. And I am going to be using, I've used this palette so much so it's a little dirty, I'm going to be using the Sable color here. It's like a warm dark brown color, and I'm just going to use a flat eyeshadow brush and get some of that on there, tap off any excess, and apply. I'm first going to apply up so you can see what I'm doing, so that most of the shadow is by the lash line, and then I'm going to flip that over and continue to pat on this color all over my lid. I'm going to go back with this rounded dome crease brush, and I am going to use the Texture matte color again, that orangey brown. Not very much of it. And I'm just going to kind of use that back in the crease again to blend the top of that dark sable brown I just added, because I don't want this dark color to come up too much. Like I said, I want everything to be blended and smooth, seamless. Okay, so for the brow bone, I'm using another flat, stiff eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to use the cream color inside of the palette, and it's just a nice natural light peachy color. It's not white, but it's enough to add a definite highlight to that brow bone. And I kind of come down a little bit just to kind of blend down here. And now I got to do the lower lash line, and I'm going to use the Constructivist again with a pencil brush from MAC, which is the 219, and just dip and get a little bit of that color, I don't need a lot, onto the brush, and apply that underneath the lash line, and slowly bring that in and blend it. Okay, so I make sure that I have the rest of the remaining of the paint pot color off of this pencil brush. And I'm going to use that warm sable brown again from the Lorac palette. And just get a little bit on that brush and apply it on top of the Constructivist paint pot. And this blends everything together underneath the eye. So as you can see, there's a little bit of shimmer on top of this eyelid here, and I just didn't want to have it a dark matte brown like that. I mean, you could, and you know, add a little bit of color on the inner corner and call it a day, but I wanted to add a little bit of a shinier brown, and the Lorac palette doesn't really have the type of shiny brown I was looking for, so I actually had to bust out my NYX little black palette here, and it's the Nude on Nude Natural Look Kit, and the color that I am using from it is the brown that's right in the middle here, and it's just a pretty light shimmery brown, and I'm just going to apply that to the center of my lid and then kind of blend that in a little bit. Flip that flat brush over and pick up a little bit of that shiny satin finish brown, I should say, not shiny. Tap off any excess, and that applies right in the center of my lid. I want to line my waterline, and to do that I'm actually just going to use a pencil, eyeliner pencil. This is just one of those Sephora waterproof ones. I really like it. And I'm going to dip it inside of some gel eyeliner, and this is the Tarte Amazonian Clay gel liner in brown. So get a little bit, and you got to make sure your pencil is nice and sharp for this. Otherwise, it's not going to go on very clean. So get it here in the waterline. And I do whatever's left on the pencil for the upper waterline. And I'm going to tightline in between the lashes to make sure, just to thicken it up and darken a little bit around the edge here. So I'm going to add some color to the inner corner of the eye, and what I'm going to do is take two colors from this palette. I'm going to take the light, sorry I don't want to, there you go, take the light bronze and the gold color and mix it together and just pop that in the inner corner. A little bit more of that gold color. And I just want to kind of clean up underneath the eye a little bit, and so I'm just going to add a little bit of under eye concealer, and this is the Maybelline Rewind concealer. Just use my finger. And I've already applied powder and bronzer to this whole side of my face, and I haven't done the other side, so I'm just going to put on a little bit of face powder, and this is the Clinique matte double face powder in, oh my gosh, the label's washed off. I think it's Matte Honey. Yeah, Matte Honey. And just kind of pat a little bit on. And I use powder because I have combination skin. You can skip this step if you want, but I just do this just to kind of blend everything in. A little bit right underneath the face, down the neck a little bit. Okay, so next what we're going to use is some bronzer to contour and warm up the face, and I'm going to use the Sephora one in color number 3. It's a matte brown, and for this I'm just going to use an angled fluffy brush, get a little bit on there, and we're going to contour down here underneath the cheekbone. And bring it up a little bit. And blend that in. Add a little bit up here. A little bit of a blemish up here. And I accidentally burned my head with curling iron. So that's still healing. So now for a little bit of blush, and we are going to use one of my all-time favorites, Tarte Amazonian Clay in the color Exposed. Love this color so much. It's just a nudie pink color. Apply it to the apples of my cheeks. Okay, so now that we've applied the blush, the only thing left to do is finish the eyelashes, of course, and lips. I've already applied the color I'm going to be using, and it's going to be one of these Revlon lip butters in the color Pink Truffle. Let me show you. I accidentally dabbed it. It's a pretty just nude, kind of like the Exposed blush, actually. I'll just apply a little bit more. And I really like that color for darker eyes as well, because it's just a nice nude color. It doesn't wash out your lips or your face, but it's not too much either. And I'm just going to put a little bit of lip gloss in the center of the lips as well, and it's a MAC Dazzle Glass in Lightly Prancing. And I think this was like a holiday edition one or something like that, so I don't know if they still have it. But any type of peachy clear gloss, or sheer gloss I should say, would do the trick. And now there's just a little bit of shine. And only thing left to do is the eyelashes. So I'm going to curl the eyelashes and add some mascara, and then we're going to be done with the look. This is the final look. Kind of scoot back a little bit, hopefully you can see it all. My hair is a little bit of a mess, but I'm going to go get it actually done today for the hairdresser, so I'm literally not going to put a lot of effort before I go down and get my hair done. Doesn't quite make sense. But yes, I really love this look. You can definitely add some false eyelashes if you'd like to. If I was going out for the night, I'd probably do that. But as a, everyday, day-to-day look, I really like this. It's just some really pretty warm browns, golds. Great for anybody who has blue eyes or even green eyes. And I don't know. So this is the final look. And thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions, definitely please just ask them below. And I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye, everybody.